Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to our video. We're going to do another tier list because there's some things that changed with the new updates. There's a lot of things that changed that I was not expecting such a drastic change on. So this is the tier list for the current patch. I think it's 5.4 something like that. But yeah, basically the patch where Zatanna, not Zatanna, where the new Swamp Thing got introduced, the Elder Swamp Thing. So that's the patch notes that this is based on. We're going to mainly focus on raids and soul raids. We're going to account for arena and champions arena performance a little bit, but don't expect anything that's only is good in arena and champions arena and is useless in raids and soul raids to make it past C tier. Because in arena and champions arena, you can just pick an easier team to fight, and anything can do well enough in arena and champions arena. Raids and soul raids is where they need to pull their weight, and what you build for raids and soul raids will do well for an arena and champions arena regardless. Also, this is going to be a free-to-play tier list with the second one here where I will make the mention if I go over character over here, and I feel like if you had pay-to-win artifacts, especially the beta club pay-to-win artifact, it's gonna do better for you, and I'm gonna do the mention over here. So yeah, let's get into it. First up, get the Zatanna Moroccoman. He's gonna be C tier. He's amazing. He's absolutely insane arena and champions arena. Power drain, armor pierce, team-wide healing. But raids and soul raids is literally useless. Ace Green Arrow, I feel like C tier as well. He's not that great in arena and champions arena, but he's here for his very niche use in raids and soul raids because you're going to be able to use him for power draining purposes and power lock purposes when you're fighting a specific fight that requires the enemy to not reach super move level. It doesn't happen too often, but when it happens, it's going to be very useful there. This can be also something that's done by the pay-to-win artifacts, but that's not going to be something that's available to everybody. Arkham Knight Batman, I'm gonna put him at B tier. The problem is with this dude, first of all, he's not a must-have character by any means. The main thing that he does, except for the fact that he's amazing for Arena and Champions Arena, in Raids and Soul Raids, he's gonna be the stun setup for the League of Anarchy team, but Predator Batman can do as good of a job. And the thing about him is that he's got that 50% chance to stun unstunnable targets. And there's two problems with that. First of all, you're just gonna avoid those fights with League of Anarchy anyway. And second of all, in this current patch, that doesn't work. His special 2 literally doesn't stun unstunnable targets anymore. So that sucks. Though I'm not taking that into account too much, because it's eventually gonna get fixed, but I'm gonna put him at B tier. Armored Superman, D tier, I guess. It's gonna be a character we get early on, and it's gonna be reliable for the early parts of the game. He's got some defense for the team, he's got the super shield, and he's gonna deny the first special use by the enemy. You might use him as a combo builder early on as you get him from achievements, but that's as far as he goes. Atrocitus C tier, not gonna be the first choice for any team, but can be a good filler character for some teams in raids and soul raids. Has some power steal, gives you some lethal, gives you a reflective shield. We got one of the Silver Wonder Womans. I'm gonna put it at E tier just because it has a super shield, doesn't really do anything. Black Adam, C tier, I guess. He's decent in Arena and Champions Arena and can be used as a budget damager for raids and soul raids if you randomly get him from Arena, but it's not something you should actively build first or something that you should look forward getting. It's something that if you get, that's gonna do fine for you. If you don't, not really. Bane. Do we give Bane B tier? Okay, I might switch him around a bit, but I feel like Bane is such a versatile support. He does one thing, I mean, he does two things. First of all, he's giving you crit chance, but that's useless, because you're gonna have crit chance on your build if you need it. But damage on basic attack hits, there's so many things that benefit from damage on basic attack hits. Though I guess I'm not really using him anymore, because now we get Vixen, Classic Wonder Woman. There's simply a lot of stuff you can put at some point. So I think I'm gonna put him at C tier. He's still a decently good support character if you just don't have a different support to put in that team, but he's not gonna be the top tier for any team. Blue Beetle, E tier, I guess. He does a lot of stuff, but nothing good, really. He can do some stuff in Arena and Champions Arena. Manta, I'm gonna put Manta for the free-to-play side of things. I'm gonna do a little bit of a controversial thing here and put actually Manta at B tier. And for the pay-to-win side of things, I'm gonna put him at much better. So for the pay-to-win side of things, you got the Jokerized Veterans that are gonna do amazing for Manta, and he's gonna get so much better results with that. For the free-to-play side of things, the thing with Manta is, if you have a 7-star Manta with a maxed out build, strong dark metal cards, he's gonna do well for you. He's gonna do real well for you, but nah, I'm gonna give him A tier regardless. But the thing with Manta is that you need to keep in mind as free to play, this man will do you well, but for him to do you well, he's so damn expensive, because you need him at a high star rating and you need to have his gears from a gear chest that you need to also open with gems. So he's gonna do well, but it's gonna take him a while to get to that point. Like, if we're purely comparing damage compared to what else I'm gonna put in the A tier, you could arguably put him at the bottom of S tier even, but he's so hard to get gear up and max out and get ready to go. Then we have the Robin. I'm gonna put the whole Batman Ninja team at this point, so for the free-to-play side of things, I feel like the Batman Ninja team is gonna be A tier. They're gonna be a little bit weird, kind of in the same boat as Manta. They're a little bit rough to get, a little bit rough to gear up, but once you do that, and once you get them to the proper high rating, they're going to outperform pretty much all the other teams that I'm gonna put in the A tier. Not by a big enough amount for them to be worth S tier, but by a significant amount nevertheless. That's the entire Batman Ninja team. Those are the 3 characters that you need to get. With a mention that you should star up Robin faster, because he gives you the lethal attack damage passive. Next up, Blade Master Robin, D tier, I guess. Like, this man is a good combo builder. He's a surprisingly good combo builder, no matter how bad his passive actually looks. Those 7 hits that he starts off with, they're not that bad, but the problem is not A tier. Because the problem is, we don't really need combo builders, and with Armored Superman, you're gonna get him very early, regardless of if you want or not. This man is kind of an iffy situation, and even if you get him very early, you have so much better options than him. If we needed more combo builders in the game, if randomly something happened that every single character in the game had the gameplay of get to 40 combo as soon as possible, then use a special, then this man would most likely be something like B tier, but the game simply doesn't function that way. Then we have the Batman Who Laughs. He's gonna be S tier for the free-to-play side of things. And it's gonna be slightly better for the pay-to-win side of things, but it's gonna be amazing for the free-to-play side of things as well. He does percentage hull damage, and percentage hull damage is something that's gonna do you well regardless of the star rating, regardless of the gears that you have or not have, regardless of the artifacts damage. That's a flat amount that's influenced by so few things. And it's gonna do very good for you from a very low star rating, and the further you get into star rates, the better percentage health will go. Have Batman Batman. E tier, I guess. He's got a nice special one, but that's about it about him. Then we have Batman Ninja Harley Quinn. I'm gonna put her at D tier. The thing is with her, she's gonna give a portion of her base attack to the other Batman Ninja characters. That attack is almost nothing, but she's gonna do that just by being in your roster, so you're getting almost nothing by doing almost nothing to get it, so I guess D tier. She's something that's good to, like, star up if you see her in your roster, but just don't worry about it for the most part. And put Batman Lord Joker in E tier. Let's give him D tier. Like, I think I would have put him in C tier previously because he can be a decent replacement for Catwoman as a budget damage tier if you don't have gears for Catwoman, but he literally got nerfed for some reason. Like, his 3rd special was so good because it costed only 4 power bars. Now it costs 7. And I don't think that's too relevant if you're using him in the Batman Ninja team, because they will generate power so fast that you don't care, but still, I just wanted to emphasize that he just got nerfed. So I guess D tier. Though again, you can use him as a budget damage dealer for the Batman Ninja team if you don't have gears for Batman Catwoman. Brainiac is gonna be... look, for the free-to-play side of things, I feel like Brainiac is B tier. Like, let's be honest here. He's gonna buff up the crap out of legendary characters, but you're mainly gonna use him with Manta. And he's gonna slightly buff Manta. He's gonna make Manta better. He can buff Collector of War Superman until you get Manta. That's gonna be a good team that you're gonna be able to put together. Nah, A tier maybe? Like, if you think about it, the collector team is gonna outperform some of the teams that I'm gonna put anyway in A tier. So I feel like A tier, but he's gonna be so much better for the pay to win side of things, like so amazingly better. But it's gonna be good for the free to play side of things as well. You have a damage there, you don't know what to, a legendary damage there, you don't know what to do with him. Slap a Brainiac in there, he will deal damage. Oh ho ho, Batwoman the Drowned, S tier, and it's kind of the same for the pay to win side of things. It's one of the best characters in the game for the pay to win side of things, and arguably the best character in the game currently for the free to play side of things, because her passive now is going to scale of total attack, so it means it's going to count the attack of the artifacts. So when she gets into her final form and floods the field with the underwater type of thing, that's gonna deal a tremendous amount of damage. I've been able to squeeze out 200 mil damage out of a 2-star Batwoman the Drowned with 1 gear. I've been able to squeeze out on the main accounts a 1.8 million damage out of a 3-star Batwoman the Drowned with 2 gears. She's arguably the best character in the game, when you kind of take into consideration how little resources she needs to get there. She doesn't need Raven to do that, she doesn't need Zatanna to do that, she doesn't even need Batman who laughs to do that. She just needs herself and Jon Stewart Green Lantern and maybe something else that you throw in there. So very little investment for huge performance. Again, this might be a glitch that might get fixed, or this might be the way she was always intended to work. We'll never know. I mean, we'll know next patch if she gets nerfed or not, but for now, she's gonna be S tier, arguably the best character in the game for the resources that she requires to do what she does. Next up, we have Classic Batman. Classic Batman, I feel like C tier. He's gonna add the classic team some stuff. He's gonna be able to give you some power generation when the enemy misses. He's gonna do some stuff. Not must-have stuff, but some stuff. Then we have the Gold Captain Cold, E tier. Nothing much going for this dude. Cheetah, F tier, one of the worst characters in the game. Collector vs Superman, C tier, with a mention that he can be a replacement for Manta. You can actually replace Manta with this dude until you get yourself Manta, impair him with Brainiac, and use him as a damage dealer. And also he's amazing for A9 Champions Arena. Classic Superman, also C tier. He kind of falls into the situational use that Ace Grenaro does as well, but his use is for reducing the enemy's defense, and that's gonna be very good when you need it, and useless when you don't need it. Classic Wonder Woman. So Classic Wonder Woman, I feel like she's gonna be B tier, but she's gonna be better for the pay to win side of things. So the thing with Classic Wonder Woman is that she's gonna give you crit damage, that bypasses your crit damage cap. And for the pay to win side of things, that can be useful, but it's not gonna be that useful in some scenarios, because for the pay to win side, for the free to play side of things, you're going to mainly use the Dark Metal cards as your go-to artifact, and you're most likely gonna get your damage dealers built so that they reach that 500% crit damage extended cap. Now she can go beyond the normal cap, but if you have Dark Metal cards and already hitting 500% crit damage with that, she can't go beyond that. But for the pay to win side of things, you're gonna have a lot of options other than the Dark Metal cards to use, and in that situation, extending the 300% crit damage cap is gonna be very useful for you. Next up, Deathstroke, S tier. Where did he drop? Oh boy, not with Cheetah. S tier. One of the best characters in the game for the free-to-play side of things. You get him at 3 stars, you don't need no gears, you just need Nora Snow Globe, which is a free artifact, and that man will chunk down with proper gameplay about 65 to 70% by himself of the total health of any boss in the game. Amazing stuff. Dark Supergirl, F tier. I just don't like her. Like, look, we could put her here, but I don't like her. Her tag and attack doesn't work properly. I don't like her. Dark Side C tier. Probably one of the best characters in the game, 49 Champions Arena, but he doesn't do much in raids and soul raids. Emerald Green Lantern, I feel like D tier. Nah, let's put him C tier. It's kind of the same deal as Atrocitus, but he's worse than Atrocitus in most scenarios, but better than Atrocitus when you're dealing with a super shield fight, because he's gonna give you stun on basic attack hits, and while the enemy is stunned, they can't really use the shield ability on you. Next up, we have Enraged Bane, F tier, one of the worst characters in the game. We have Entangling Poison Ivy, S tier, with the whole League of Anarchy with Heartbreak Harley Quinn. Where's my boy Last of Joker? There he is, there he is. So this entire team is going to be absolutely insane. They're going to be hard to get. They're going to be hard to gear up. You might have to open chests for both of those scenarios. But once you get them, they're going to be your best team, hands down. For the most part. For the early stages of your account, they might deal less damage than Deathstroke, but they're going to outdo that. They are kind of the only free-to-play... I mean, now we got Batman in the Drowned as well, so... They're one of the 2 free-to-play teams that have the potential without having any pay-to-win artifacts to hit 2 billion damage. And the benchmark, for example, for my Heartbreak Harley Quinn team is like level 6 Dark Metal cards, level 10 God Killer, and level 6 God Killer. That gives them enough passive stats to do 2 billion damage, and that's gonna be a long way to go, I know, but at the same time, it's something that's totally achievable in theory, without any luck involved. Firestorm... E tier, D tier. I don't know, man. I've been crapping so much on Firestorm, but I remember 2 recent instances where I actually put him in the team for his passive that gives me dot resistance to my teammates. So I don't know. Let's just give him E tier, not talk about this, okay? We have Flora Poison Ivy. Armor Piercing Special 2 makes her useful in Arena Champions or not D tier. Next up, we have Golden Armor Wonder Woman. I feel like she's kind of on the same level with Collector vs. Superman. They're both extremely good in Arena Champions Arena, and they both can be replacements for Manta until you get Manta. Personally, I prefer Collector for that role, but you can use her, I guess. Doesn't make much of a difference. Reed's D tier is gonna be immune to power drain, so that makes him useful in some fights. He's gonna have a lot of stuff to mess up tech characters and specifically cyborgs. D tier is the best I can do for this man. Maybe he even deserved E tier, but let's move on. Hellboy, D tier. Like, my opinion on this man just gets lower and lower because I realize that you need him less and less as your account progresses. When you're in the early stages of your account and you're fighting a fight that has hazards on the ground that deal dot damage to you and hurt your feelings, Hellboy is gonna be the best solution because he doesn't get damage from dot. He heals from it, which is absolutely insane. But it's not something that you really need. As time progresses, there's a lot of characters that can deal with dot with no trouble and a lot of ways to go around it. But if you need him for that very specific purpose, he's gonna do you well. And look, I'm gonna give him C tier, I guess. Nah, keep him in D tier. Keep him in D tier, not really worth C tier. I'm just not using him on the pay to win or the free to play count anymore, but this is gonna be useful for you early. Then we have Horrific Scarecrow. And C tier, I guess, reliable support. He lowers the attack of the enemy, though not by much, and he increases the power cost for the enemy. So if you're using like Deathstroke and you want to make sure that your clones are gonna be a little bit safer, they're gonna have a bigger time frame in which to do their damage, or the enemy doesn't have enough energy to use their specials, you can just drop a Horrific Scarecrow in there and you're gonna be fine. Hush. E tier, that doesn't really do much. Like, I don't know what was up with this character release, but this man sucks balls. I'd rather have a Flora Poison Ivy than a Hush on my roster. Just like Aquaman, he's gonna be C tier, I guess. He's in the very specific situation where you actually need armor pierce on basic attack hits for your Justice League team characters. You're not gonna need that often, but when you need it, it's gonna be there. In the rest of the scenarios, you're just gonna use Bane for that purpose. Justice League Batman, D tier or C tier, I don't know, man. He basically gives the Justice League teammates a shield that makes them bypass the first ability they get hit by. And you don't need that in Raids and Swords. And in Arena and Champions Arena, the problem is if you put him in the team, you're gonna miss out on Just Gakumen. And in Arena, Just Gakumen is so much more useful because kind of all the characters got a little bit of armor in there. So I guess I'm gonna leave him at E tier. Again, D tier, E tier, and F tier, I don't really care about them, to be honest. So if you think I was totally wrong and you would flip those 3 tiers all the way around, good for you, my dudes. But nobody really cares, to be honest. This could be those guys here could be in either way. Doesn't make much of a difference. Next up, Cyborg. He's gonna be, for the free-to-play side of things, at the very least, A tier. He's gonna plateau a bit for the pay-to-win side of things. He's simply not gonna pull enough damage with his homie Just Like Flash to be worth using anymore. But for the free-to-play side of things, you can unlock this man from the Just Like Team Shard chest relatively fast because he unlocks at 2 stars, and then work your way from there with CA shards and with league donations. And Just Like Team is gonna be a very, very solid team for you as free to play. Just Like Flash can deal some significant amounts of damage, and he's also gonna be at A tier. He can also be a support character for other stuff like the League of Anarchy team and Manta team. He's a good guy overall. Just like Superman is gonna be C tier. Problem is, he's supposed to be the superior damage dealer, the go-to character of the Just Like team for dealing damage, but he deals less damage than Just Like Flash. And Just Like Flash has got an arena season. This man's got a chest that you need to try and get him from, and then you need to get his gears from a chest. So nah, bro, I don't feel like he's worth more than C tier, just because of how hard he is to get compared to how little he brings to the table. We have Jones Stewart Green Lantern. Look, I'm gonna put him at B tier. Let me explain myself. Normally he would go in C tier. This man has also niche use, and that niche use is to remove the hazard secondary effects from the map. So if you get glowy stuff on the ground that power drains your ass, you put this man in, that no longer happens. But with the most recent updates, a passive that was never useful for him is now the most useful thing about him. And that thing is buffing hazard dot damage of Batwoman the Drowned. And that hazard dot damage is gonna do so much more. He basically buffs the dot that comes out once her underwater phase kicks in. There's other ways to buff it. Arkham Knight Batman also does the same thing for her, but he's obviously easier to get. If this character would be removed from the game, she would still be amazing. So that's why I'm not putting her like this, and I'm not putting him like this, like near her. Because not a situation like EPI where without Entangling Poison Ivy, League of Anarchy wouldn't do anything. But he's still a very good support character currently. Keep in mind that if next patch nerfs her, he'll drop here and she'll drop here. Just keep that one in mind. But for now, they're there. Nightmare Batman D tier can be a decent character for defense team in CA, other than that doesn't do much. Kim Flan Suckleman S tier, Nora Snowglobe, you slap that in there, he's gonna do same as Deathstroke, around 60% of the enemy's stall health. He's a little bit worse than Deathstroke because he suffers from damage capped enemies. He's literally the only character that's nerfed about that stuff, and that's frustrating. But yeah, they introduced something that's called a damage cap that doesn't allow you to deal more damage than a certain amount of the enemy's health. And there's not much stuff in the game that gets hit by it except for Conflant Suckleman for some reason. But other than that, he's amazing, absolutely amazing. For both the free-to-play and the pay-to-win side of things. He's slightly better for the pay-to-win side of things because you can use him with Beta Club, but it's gonna be a mild difference. Let me get myself some water, please. Excuse me for that one. Okay, so Martian Manhunter, D tier. Like, randomly got this man from a chest, okay? We did not go in the first place out of my way to try and get him. Got his gears, we might as well try him out. I tried him out as a combo builder for Server Banshee because that's the only thing that makes sense for him to do. This is worse and more inconvenient to play than Reverse Flash, my dudes. And Last time I shit-talked this man, somebody was like, what do you mean he's worse than Reverse Flash? This man can reach 5 fast attack hits. No, he can't reach 5 fast attack hits if you can't properly play him, if he sucks balls, if he doesn't transition fast enough into a block so you can combo interrupt. This man, in theory, if you literally swapped the passive of this man and put them on Reverse Flash for Zero Banshee combo building purposes, you'd be so much better. Reverse Flash would become so much better with this man's passive and what this man does. But problem is, this man is so goddamn inconvenient to play that he makes up for all the good that's in his passive, so no. And the thing that he's so hard to get and so hard to gear up is the cherry on top. No reason to pursue this man. Mr. Freeze, this is an interesting one. For the free-to-play side of things, hear me out. He's literally as strong as Collector of Words Superman and the Golden Armor Wonder Woman. He's on their power level. But he does all of that by requiring you to buy a chest and also to buy a chest for his gears. So D tier for the free-to-play side of things. This character is dog poo-poo. For the pay-to-win side of things, he's the best character in the game, actually. Funny enough, because there's an artifact that's called Beta Club. If you have a Mr. Freeze without Beta Club, it's gonna be shit. Not worth getting. If you have a Mr. Freeze with Beta Club, it's gonna be the best character in the game, most likely. So yeah, a little bit of a weird one with this one. But trust me, as free-to-play, you don't want this character. I mean, if you randomly get it, you might get some use out of him, but you don't want to actively pursue this character. Okay, let's put him here. Let's be reasonable. Let's put him here in the C tier, but he's really not worth it. Gold Catwoman character gets you more gold from the operations. That's the most useless passive in the game, by the way. Multiverse Armored Supergirl, I feel like B tier. She's gonna be very good in Arena and Champions Arena and kind of a budget damage dealer. She used to be in the top 6 teams at some point, but she just falls off in terms of damage. She's not on par with anything else. Excuse me, boy. What was that? I just burped while talking. That was a non-controllable one, boy. That was rough, but yeah, she's good, but simply not good enough to make it any higher. Multiverse Black Lightning, D tier, he's gonna be good in Arena and Champions Arena. He's got Armor Pierce on the 3rd special, so that's great. Multiverse Batwoman, E tier. She's supposed to be a damage dealer, but anything she does, Black Lightning and Multiverse Armored Supergirl do better. Multiverse Captain Cold E tier, he's gonna give them invulnerability to armor pierce attacks just by being in your roster, so that's something, but it's not much. Multiverse Green Arrow, D tier. Like, he does in theory do a lot of things, but he doesn't do much really. All of the things he does are kind of underwhelming when you put them in practice, just trust me on this one. He's good at power draining at least. Multiverse Supergirl, actually C tier. I think she's so much better than Green Arrow because she's got a freeze on her special too, so that's useful. And she's going to give defense and then damage reduction when below a certain amount of health for your multiverse team. So that makes them very hard to kill when you don't need them to die. So, though D tier, I guess. Because she's not that amazing in Arena Champions. You might have noticed a pattern here in C tier, where you have characters that are going to be good supports in Raids and Soul Raids, but not amazing supports, but good supports in Raids and Soul Raids, and kind of situationally good supports and insanely good characters in Arena Champions right now, or kind of a combination of both of them. I don't feel like she fits in that. Multiverse Flash, same as Multiverse Armored Supergirl B tier. They're fine as a damage dealing team, but they're not close to the best ones. And this man has 3 fast attack hits, so that's good, I guess. Multiverse White Canary, E tier, she doesn't do much, really. Mythic Wonder Woman, D tier, she's fine in Arena and Champions Arena, I guess, with her special one being Armor Pierce, with a little bit of her passive, but she doesn't do much. Nightwing, D tier, Jack of all trades, master of nothing, but this man can do some stuff for in Arena and Champions Arena. Outside of that, not great. Predator Batman B tier, he can be a budget damage dealer. He can be a combo setup for the Harvey Harley Quinn League of Anarchy. He can be a decent combo builder for Zero Banshee because of his special one disabling the abilities. This man can be a lot of things. Is he the best at anything? No. Is he a must-have at anything? No. But he's gonna do anything you want him to do, basically. So I feel like B tier is a good place for him. Power Girl. Okay, let's put Power Girl and Dr. Fate at the top of A tier. Some of you guys were not really agreeing with me putting them in the S tier. And the thing is, those guys, okay, let's not give them A tier, but just remember, they are here to stay in the let's not give them S tier, but remember, they're here to stay in the A tier. Because what those characters do is that they're going to reduce the power cost of your character by 2 power bars for all the specials. No matter what teams we have in the game at the moment or in the future, no matter what happens to the meta, no matter what characters get introduced, there will always be a place for cheaper power bars in your team. That's something you gotta keep in mind. So they are invaluable in my opinion, but okay, let's give them A tier. It's fine. They're gonna do just fine there. Or Supergirl trash. Primal something. Trash. I'm sorry, my man. I'm sorry. You're not S tier. Also, did I forget about something that can be better for the pay to win side of things, considering what we last put? No, I don't think so. This is fine. Then we have Raiden. D tier, I guess, can be good in Arena and Champions Arena with his third special and all that, but not mandatory. Raven. S tier, and also better for the pay to win side of things. She's gonna be so much better for the pay to win side of things because here she can do a lot of things. For the free to play side of things, what she does is you pair her up with the League of Anarchy team or nowadays with the Battle on the Drown team and you get a guaranteed 2 billion damage. That's about it, and she's amazing at that. She can buff any team, but there are some teams that take far higher benefit than her. Red Hood C tier. Again, situational support extends the duration of the fight by 30 seconds, but it costs 10 power bursts to do it. It's not something that you your teams compete, like, oh boy, who's gonna get Red Hood now? I can't believe we didn't get Red Hood, guys, we're gonna struggle in this one. It's something that you put when you don't really have many options left for that team, but he's reliable at that, so C tier. Silver Aquaman, E tier. He's got a passive that can be useful sometimes because it gives you stun resistance for each might character in your team, but it's not that great of a passive. Gold's Black Canary, F tier. Zero Banshee is gonna be A tier as well. Does a very good amount of damage for the free-to-play side of things. You're not really gonna use her as pay-to-win side of things because you're eventually gonna cycle her out of your best teams, but she's gonna be a very good damage regardless. Zero Batman. D tier. It's basically Praetor Batman but worse from every single damn point of view. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of you simping for Zero Batman, but he doesn't do that much. He does everything Praetor Batman does, but not really everything and worse. Zero Catwoman. F tier garbage character. Zero Cyborg. F tier, like, he's got a decent passive. He recovers health while he's tagged out of combat, okay? Okay, that's good. That can be very good in Arena and Champions Arena, but you're not gonna build him. And you're not getting free gears at high level from him from league rates, because he's a silver character. So let's be honest here, and put him at E tier. Zero Deja trash. Speed Force Flash, E tier. A very, very situational support character. Same as with Silver Flash. Gives you fast tech chance. You don't need that. You can put that on the build, but sometimes you don't have it on the build and you need it for that fight specifically. So I guess E tier for that thing alone. This man is also decent in Arena and Champions Arena. Zero Green Arrow, E tier, I guess. He does have a power drain, so I'll give him that. Zero Grodd, E tier, I guess. He does have a super shield, so I'll give him that. Zero Green Lantern, he will be in the C tier. He can give you a shield, depending on your health, that will protect you at the start of the fight, and you can't be interrupted while that shield is active, so it's basically free combo interruptions. Though it's not something that's mandatory or something that you need to have or you must have. It's just convenience purposes character. Harley F tier. Shazam is gonna be somewhere in the B tier, I guess. For the free-to-play side of things, for the pay-to-win, you will not even use him, but it gives you some attack for Confluence Sakumen or for whatever arcane character you want. So he has that usefulness in raids and soul rates, and he's absolutely insane in Arena and Champions Arena because of his healing. So I feel like B tier is a good enough spot for him. So Robin, yet again, kind of as Blade Master Robin, if we needed more combo builders, he would be great, but we don't, and you're unlikely to build his ass, he's a silver. Zero Scarecrow F tier, Sorcerer Darker Fate F tier. But Sigvald, he can power swap the enemy's health with his passive. I know he doesn't work in raids and soul raids, but still, it's good for Inach. I don't care. I don't care. When I use a super move, I'm expecting to kill something in Arena Champions. If I don't kill something without needing to swap health with it, by default, that's bad. And we have the whole Suicide Squad team. I'm gonna give all of them D tier. Look, though this team is great in Arena Champions. They're just great in that game mode. But you need to get them from a chest, and you need to get their gears from a chest. Nope. I'm not spending that much for Arena and Champions Arena purposes only. I'm not going out of my way to get them. If anybody was to randomly freely give them to me, I would be happy because they seem to be fun to play, but I'm most likely never gonna have this team built because it's never gonna be a priority for me. I don't care about their asses. They ask too much for too little. Sir Superman has got an interesting passive, I guess. Either D tier or E tier. Good Arena, Champions Arena. I don't know, man. Let's say E tier because you're not gonna build him anyway. Silver Swamp Thing, F tier. Starfire, E tier. She regens some health. Good for 9 Champions Arena, I guess, but not that great. Also got the weird AI to play with. Sir Joker, F tier. Sub-Zero, E tier, would have give him D tier, but Arena kind of changed out of his room of expertise. How you would use him previously in Arena NCA would be perma-freezing enemies, and that way you would get a timer, actually in Arena only, you'd get a timer winner, and win by timeout. You can no longer win by timeout, and the freezing effect is no longer that great because it can break in a bad way at the end of it. So yeah, I don't feel he's worth more than E tier. Silver Black Canary, F tier. It's got some synergies with Silver Green Lantern, but I don't really care. The Elder Swamp Thing. Elder Swamp Thing is gonna be... for now, B tier or C tier. Either B or C tier. The thing is, he's gonna buff Zatanna. Zatanna is obviously S tier, percentage hull damage, also damage buff, good character. What he does is buff Zatanna by a little bit in terms of damage, but only a little bit, but buff her up in terms of convenience purposes by a lot. He's got the Green Lantern passive basically, but so much better because it resets on tagging and he also heals her and adds some percentage hull damage. I'm not sure the percentage hull damage that he adds to her total percentage hull damage by being just a dark character really works properly nowadays, but that'll eventually get fixed. So I feel like B tier, but again, don't feel like you have to buy the Injustice Pass or go out of your way to get him fast. And Zatanna will also be a little better for the pay-to-win side of things, I guess, but just a little bit better. So Wonder Woman has got the shield, so E tier, I guess. Telekinetic Growth got the shield, E tier. Reverse Flash is gonna be A tier. 3 fast attack hits, power swap, all you want from your combo builder, power generating and good fast attack hits. And fast combo building. And you might be like, but Sigvald, whenever I tag in Reverse Flash, he gives more power to the enemy. Yeah, that's your fault because you're stupid and you tag him in a stupid way. He's gonna swap the power that you have with the power that the enemy has. So when you tag Reverse Flash in when you're at full power and the enemy is at 1 power bar, you're gonna give the enemy all the power. Is that the enemy's fault? No, it's your fault because you were stupid at that point. If you see that happening, tag your Power Girl in, then use a special intervention, then tag Reverse Flash in and steal the entire power bar of the enemy. I hated this argument of, oh, Reverse Flash is not good because it can work against you. It works against you if you're stupid, I'm sorry, but that's the reality of it. But yeah, rant aside, let's keep going. Though to be fair, is he worth A tier really? Hmm. Yeah, I think he's worth A tier, and we can also move up Predator Batman. That Predator Batman at nah. I think it's fine like this. Bro, this got me thinking. Because if this guy is in the A tier, then Predator Batman is kind of worth A tier. If Predator Batman is kind of worth A tier, then Classic Wonder Woman and Arkham Knight Batman are kind of worth A tier. And the whole A tier is kind of crumbling. Look, this here's what we're gonna do for the free to play side of things. Brainiac is B tier, right? The Justice League team is B tier, and Sir Bench is also B tier. This feels like a much better representation. I don't think they're worse, I just think this could exemplify far better how stuff works and how damage works. Because those two deal so much more damage than anything here, and those two are so great support characters. Unbreakable Cyborg, 8 E tier, I guess he does something. Unhinged Charlie, F tier. Vixen is gonna be B tier, I guess. Gives you some attack, gives you some gives you a lot of stuff. Not stuff that you must have, but stuff that's useful. Let's just leave it at that. And she's got Super Shield E tier. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Like the video if you liked it, disliked it. So let me know what you would change yourself in this tier list, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!